Hello everybody, we are back with Slender Part 2. So without further ado, let's continue.
Throughout the rest of the night, the Slender Man was everywhere within my dreams. He was a bit curious though. He only ever seemed to be cautiously hiding behind trees. Only in the original photo was he completely exposed. Even subconsciously, I wished I hadn't moved next to a forest, knowing he could be lurking, watching me, analyzing me.
It didn't take long to force myself awake. 10:46 AM. I looked to my left. I looked to my right. My wife was calmly sleeping. Lucky her. I dragged myself out of bed and slowly made my way downstairs. I half expected the TV to be blaring with my kids' eyes glued to the screen, but then I realised that they were still at their grandma's house. They were due back today. I was going to quite miss the quiet. It was alright. I missed my kids even more. I continued down the stairs, hoping to get a game of solitaire in on the computer, when something made me feel very weak and hollow. The lamp wasn't broken, but it wasn't brand new either. Someone took the pieces and shoddily glued them back together. And the glue, it wasn't glue. It was a black rubbery-like tar substance. I would have tasted it for origin, but that's never a good idea. My wife needed to wake up soon. I was starting to panic.
I explained what happened the night before, about the lamp and the nightmares and such. She just rolled her eyes and told me I was on something. Wives, sometimes I think they do it on purpose. Still feeling uneasy from this morning, I managed to focus myself to look out into the forest behind our house. It was very calm, nothing out of the ordinary. It was completely dark, so I didn't look nearly as ominous as I usually did at night. I was badly laminating this night. In particular, suddenly I saw a light out of the corner of my eye that caused me to nearly jump out of my skin. It was just the kids getting dropped off, I swear. I was thinking too much into this. I couldn't keep my nerves steady half the time.
Hours passed. We played with the children, we put them to bed, we relaxed on the couch. My wife was asleep on my chest. I was nodding off. I slowly closed my eyes. It wasn't long before the quiet was broken and my wife and her were woken up. A broken window upstairs. In a panicked flow, we ran up there as fast as we could. Our eldest son, scared out of his mind, said it came from his brother's room. Without even thinking, I kicked the door in. Only the light in the far corner brought light into the pitch black room. And there he was. The man from my dreams. The Slender Man. Hovering over my son's bed.
Having seen him, I acted without even knowing what was going on. Punches were thrown. Long black tentacles whipped all around. The last thing I remember was being held tightly above the ground and thrown against a wall. That's when I blacked out. When I came to, my wife was in tears. I had 3 cracked ribs. My son was gone. The Slender Man had my son, and there was nothing I could do, but I knew he was going to come back. and that was when I would get him.
The rest of the day was full of emotion. My wife could hardly stop crying. My other son was in a constant state of shock. I could barely think straight. I did, however, manage to call the police. Told them my son had been abducted by a man in a long black suit. I kept the details of the tentacles to myself in fear that they wouldn't believe me. That was the least of my worries. I needed to figure out when he would return.
The police showed up and took each of our statements. They examined my son's room. They did a quick sweep of the forest outside. It seemed not a single piece of evidence was found. They had begun to leave when something hanging from a very high up branch caught their eye. It was a piece of black material, much like the suit I bought while I was on vacation. I pointed this out to the police and they inquired to see my suit. I gladly showed them the way. When they opened the closet door, what they found was beyond belief. Wrapped in my now tattered suit was my son, completely drenched in blood. He didn't look conscious. Both myself and the police were shocked and disgusted. That's when I blacked out.
When I came to, I was in an unfamiliar place. Grey painted walls, small windows on one of them. One exceptionally bland table. Great. I was in an interrogation room. I sat there alone for a good part of an hour before actual human life entered the room with me. Now, my memory is a bit hazy at this point, so I'll try and sum up the conversation as best as I can. The officer said, "Your son didn't survive. My deepest sympathies to you and your family. You've not been proven guilty, but evidence leans towards it. A further investigation must be held. You will be brought back to your home, but you will be under a constant supervision," and so on and so forth.
I was driven home in the back of a police cruiser. Last time I was there was in high school, when vandalism was the cool thing to do. I was welcomed back with open arms from my still sobbing wife and my emotionless son. Going back wasn't easy. Thankfully, we didn't have to stay long. The police explained that we were going to stay at a hotel for a few days. Gathered our things when a picture from our fridge caught my eye. It was a picture my late son drew. When I saw it, my heart nearly stopped. It was the curtest crayon drawing you can imagine. Was my son standing next to a tall, faceless man in a black suit. I made sure no one was around to see my stuff. Stuff the picture into my pocket.
Now, this is all we could fit in for today. Part 3 will be released very, very shortly. We hope you can get some sort of help from this and try and piece together what happened. So if you ever do face the Slender Man himself, you'll have some sort of idea of what to do and how to act. We hope this never happens to you, and we hope you never have to face with or live with any of these challenges that this man did and this family did. If you have any stories that you would like to share with us, please comment below, or find a way of contacting me or my colleagues and we will reply to you. Please subscribe for more updates on this subject and others, and leave a like button below if you feel any sympathy for this family or know any stories that you can share yourself. I would like to thank Jaden for joining me for this video.
You're welcome.
Hopefully this story will take one more episode or two. We're not quite sure how long this will take, but we hope you enjoy this and, well, find some sort of help from this. If you want us to do a video on the Slender Man's backstory or any way to actually defeat the Slender Man, comment below. We will research into it and we will do our own little video for you. If there are any other creatures of the night or myths that you'd like us to do, leave them in a comment below and we will do research into it and we will make a video for that as well. So yeah, see you later folks.